Many years ago, I decided to write, especially even though I do a lot of writing, but then when I focus my attentions in writing the book, Wailing from the Bleeding Nations, the series, it took a lot of constraints, it took a lot of challenges, it took a lot of effort, and it took a lot of determinations to do what I got to do. One of the first challenges that I had was when I decided to discuss the idea about writing a book to some of my friends. Some of the information, so like some of the statement that I got from them was not encouraging at all. At least somebody said to me, they say, you are thinking about writing because your stomach is full. If you are hungry like me, you'll be going out there to look for food instead of sitting down somewhere to write. That was the statement that I got from one of my friends. And there is another person that said, everything you want to know about the war that was fought in Liberia and Sierra Leone, it is already on the media. It's already that everything has been written, such the internet. The educated, the professor, they have already writing about those things. So don't waste your time. Somebody said that, don't waste your time. Because everything you want to write about has already been written about. My answer to that statement is no. Nobody has ever written anything about the war that I like the way I do. And nobody will ever write anything about the war, about my life, about my society, about the neighboring country, like the way I do. The reason being, everybody have their own personal view of the way they see the world. And when we talk about the mainstream media that many people try to use as a defensive that we shouldn't do this because other people have done, it is a wrong concept. It takes away our individualities. People out there, especially those that own and control the mainstream media, they are not Africans. They are not Liberians. They are not Sierra Leoneans. They are not the sufferers. They are people who we are sent into our country that shuffle the information and bring back those that will be pleasing to their society. They are not writing, or their information that they sent out there was not there in our interest. It was in the interest of them to serve them. Because if they see something that is contrary or contradicting to what the organization or to what their society want them to share in India about us, they will not. First of all, they are biased. From the beginning, when we talk about the slavery and the enslavement of the African people, those who own the mainstream media, some way or the other, they have connection to this. So, they will not tell about themselves that are going to bring disgrace to themselves. They use the mainstream media to control the knowledge, to control the idea that come in and out. If I tell them about something that they know is going to implicate them in their organization, they will not disclose those things, or they will not come to the mainstream media. So how can someone convince me that everything about the war, everything about my society has been written about? Think about the fact. When Westerners colonized the African society, every educational material, books and whatsoever we got, they destroy it. They destroy it to serve their purpose because they don't want for us to have any memory of our past, because they want to prove to us or prove to the world that they civilize us, so they destroy every information that we had before their invasion. Everything we know about ourselves, they destroy it. Think about educational system. We use a language that we cannot keep our own secret. It was deliberately planned so that they would take control of the society. Have somebody ever tell you in the mainstream media that people like Charles Taylor, who carried civil war in Liberia, they were set free from the American prison? By 1983, Charles Taylor was a prisoner in America. But how does he escape? How does he escape to have enough money to go and wage civil war in that country? Where does he pass? Where does he get the gun? Which country in Africa that have a factory that produce gun? AK-47 is made in Russia. M16 is an American gun. RPG is a Russian gun. But we have so much pride of these things in Africa that we are using to kill ourselves. How do they get to Africa if we don't have a factory? Wailing from the bleeding nations, the battlefield where the war is in plan, tells you this. Our society is a battleground, but the planning of the conflict was not done in our society. It was done somewhere else. I don't know where it was done. The book gonna give you knowledge about that. So, Wailing from the Bleeding Nations, the battlefield where the war is in plan, is the first book in the series. It's already out. And I want for you to get a copy. Grab your copy so that we will start thinking, we will start building our history. That's gonna be our past for our survival and for our integrity as African. The African solidarity need to start now. We need to start empowering ourselves by sharing knowledge, by learning information, by learning things that have to do with us, things that are going to benefit us, things that are going to carry us, things that are going to give us self-esteem. Not knowledge about Manchester United, Liverpool, blah, 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 here and that. Those things take us nowhere. It have nothing to do with us. It don't give us any form of education that's going to help for the survival of our society. We need to start doing something that's going to be beneficial to us, that's going to benefit our young generation, that's going to benefit our future generation. And that is the reason why it took me over 15 years for me to write Wailing from the Bleeding Nation, the series. Join me on the course and we will see what we're going to talk about. Thank you very much.